Hello, welcome to the Self-Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Unit 28, Theories of Origin of Caste System. And our topic is Theories of Origin of Caste System. As is evident from the various definitions given above, caste in India is a social institution deriving sanction from the intimately interwoven with the Hindu religion. Membership of a caste is compulsory and not a matter of choice. A person is born into it. It is practically impossible for individuals to change their caste. Each caste boasts of a peculiar tradition of culture and tries to preserve it tenaciously. The customs by which it lives are generally different in some respects from those of any other caste and are sometimes in marked contrast to those of any other caste. The caste system provides the individual member of caste which rules which must be observed by him in the matters of food, marriage, divorce, birth, initiation, and death. Caste sanctions and strictures still govern all social, religious, and economic activities. It is obvious that such a system of social stratification divides the society into thousands of small, hereditary, and endogamous groups. Each cluster of groups having its own distinctive sets of customs and practices, which together form a hierarchy. Each such group of caste is associated with one or more traditional occupations and is related to the other by means of an elaborate division of labor. The caste system on which the traditional order of the Hindu society is based is believed to have been of immemorial antiquity. The complex nature of the caste structure is evident from the fact that even after a century and a half of painstaking and meticulous research in the history and function of the social system, we do not possess any conclusive explanation of the circumstances that might have contributed to the formation and development of this unique system in India. As commented by D. N. Mazumdar, there are as many theories regarding the origin of the caste system as there are writers on the subject. Census of India done in 1931 made references of the following 5 theories with regards to the origin of caste. Hence, to simplify our endeavor, we too would follow the same reference. The first one is the divine origin. It may be pointed out that most of the religious authorities, Shastras, and the Puranas have advocated the divine origin of the caste system. So, the general feeling among the Hindu is that it has been established by the order of God, or at least by his wishes, and so it should be religiously followed. As per the Purusha Sukta in Rig Veda, the people belong to 4 main castes or varna constituting the 4 body parts of the Purush, the creator. The Brahmin was his Purusha's mouth, the Rajanya Kshatriya was his arms, and the Vaishya was his thighs, and the Shudra sprang from his feet. This view has also been expressed in most of the Dharma Shastras, Smriti, and the Puranas. Manu, whose pronouncements is cited as an authority, also supported this view. He further asserted that the different castes arose as a series of crosses, first between the four varnas and then between their descendants, and also by degradation due to non-observance of the sacred rites. Besides, the book of Manu also contains reference to the caste by the 10 primeval rishi, that is Mirchi, Atri, Agniras, Pulasya, Pulaha, Kratu, Prachuta, Vashishta, Bhrigu, and Narda. In the Mahabharata, divergent views have been expressed. In the Shanti Parva, Bhrigu has asserted that the world was created by Brahma and later on separated into castes in the consequence of work. But in the Mahabharata, it is stated that the Lord Krishna created Brahmins from his mouth, Kshatriya from his arms, Vaishya from his thighs, and Shudra from his feet. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the fourfold division of caste was created by God according to appointment of qualities and duties. Now let us move to the next point, next theory, karma and transmigration. Then there is a theory of karma and transmigration of soul, which seeks to justify the caste system. The various conditions of man, the highest, the middling, and the lowest, are caused by karma. One of the status in life is determined by one's action or karma in the past incarnations. Whatever a man enjoys or suffers is the result of his own actions. His bad actions would bear bitter fruit, whether they were done overtly or covertly. In consequence of many sinful acts committed by one's body, voice, or mind, that individual in the next birth would become a bird or a beast or be born as a low caste person, respectively. Those who perform good karma pass into superior existence, and those who lead an ideal life obtain nirvana from birth and death. Such being the idea of redistribution and justice, not only one is dissuaded from bad life, but he is also persuaded into a meritorious life by promise of absolution, of heaven, of expiation, of sins of himself and also his ancestors. Thus, even the most wretched man with his most degrading occupation remains satisfied with the belief that the miseries of his present life are the result of his sins in the previous life. And if he submissively performs his caste duties in this life, he will be born in a higher caste in the next life. Gurye has described the caste system as Brahmanical system and believes that the conquered non-Arya race becomes the Shudras, who were debarred from the religious and the social activity of the Aryas. Majumdar believes that the clash of culture and contact of races led to the social groupings. He also believes that three superior classes assigned particularly occupation for their members and to maintain their superior status, debarred other people from practicing such occupations. This led to hierarchical caste system. Thus, it appears that the racial factor has been accepted by most of the scholars, but still it cannot be taken as the only factor in the development of the caste system. European writers on the subject of caste origins knew about the racial differences between the caste, high and low, and consciously and unconsciously linked their findings to race. Weil wrote that the whole history of India from the earliest times had been one long story of color prejudice, and that more cruelty had probably been displayed there than in the rest of the world. Believed that the Aryan races who were white simply devised the iron system of caste to prevent the undermixing of a dominant race with a black inferior race. W. J. Thomas writes marked physical contrasts in the population correlated with the superior and inferior cultures, and this, according to him, is the basis of caste distinction. Dudley Buxton thinks that the caste is still of assistance in dividing the complex races of the Indian peninsula. Galen thinks that it is possible that the caste in India originated in the racial differentiations between the various populations. McIlvere also leans towards the theory of the racial origin of caste structure. He says that caste perhaps arose but of the superimposition of one endogamous community on another, religion and pride of race, which such a superimposition must have engendered. The color question in the formation of caste has also been considered. The color question at the root of the Varna system is apparent from the word Varna, which means color. The class which retained utmost purity of color by avoiding intermixture normally gained precedence in the social scale. The status also depends upon the extent of isolation maintained by the social groups. The Brahmins were white, the Kshatriya red, the Vaishya were yellowish, and the Shudras were black, as described in the Mahabharata. The three higher Varnas have tried to maintain their claims to superior status by keeping to themselves the important professions. Carve, however, does not accept the view that the original meaning of Varna was color. She argues that in early scanned literature and in grammatical works, Varna meant class. Carve continues that at a later time the word Varna to mean color, and the fourfold division of the ancient was then taken to the basis on physical feature, namely color. The social factor in the formation of the caste structure, in a sense admitted by most of the scholars, and yet the development of the caste system cannot be explained wholly on the basis of the race. Now let us wind up the session and take rest. Thank you very much for engaging yourself with the self-learning podcasts.